Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love guys. Now today's first story comes from the Am I the Arsehole Here subreddit from Emergency Toughness, who says, Am I the arsehole here for breaking up with my fiance because she went to her ex's birthday party? I, 27 male, have been in a relationship with my girlfriend, 26 female, for 6 years, and we officially got engaged last month. Our relationship was pretty great, but the only argument we occasionally had was her friendship with her ex, 27 male. They were friends from childhood and they even dated for a few years. I was never comfortable with how close they were, and she even considered him her best friend, which was really irritating because I was her boyfriend and I was supposed to be her best friend. But I did not want to be controlling or control her friendship, so I never got in her way. But I did voice my displeasure. Her ex's birthday was a couple of weeks ago, and he only invited her and not me, and she really wanted to go. I was extremely unhappy and even voiced my concerns about it, but she told me she really wanted to be there at the party and promised me that she would treat me when she came back home. She promised me that this was the last time she was ever going to hang out with him out of respect for my relationship, and especially since we were engaged. She promised she would slowly cut off friendship after that night. Well, at this point I was extremely deflated and told her, sure, but to come back home early. She was extremely happy when she came back home from the birthday party a few hours later, and even initiated sex, but I rejected it because I wasn't feeling great. Over the next week we barely spoke, even though my fiance made a lot of attempts to communicate and apologize. She promised me she would no longer be friends with him, and she apologized for going to the birthday party. By Sunday, I'd made my decision after consulting with one of my close friends, 26 male, and my two sisters, 25 female, 29 female. All three of them said she had disrespected me way too much, and I had to call it off before I actually married her. I informed my fiance of my decision, and she immediately broke down in tears and kept apologizing. It did hurt me a lot when I saw her crying like that. I told her the truth, that I hadn't felt respected in the relationship. I could just not see myself marrying a person who had disrespected me so much throughout my entire relationship. Am I the arsehole here for breaking up with my fiance because she went to her ex's birthday party? So, someone asked a question in the comments. They said it sounds like there is some backstory missing. If you've been together for 6 years, that's 5 or 6 birthday parties her BFF has had. Were you invited to them and not this one? Did she always go to his birthday parties by herself? What was your relationship with a BFF like? When did they date? Because the timeline sounds like they possibly dated in high school. Opie says yes, I was invited to all his previous birthday parties except this one. My relationship with her BFF was fine until a year ago. I'm not sure what happened. My sister's guess is that my ex-fiance was probably just running her mouth to him. They dated in high school. Athena's return replies to that saying, so instead of asking her what is going on, you just talked to your sister and she took a guess and you just agreed with it. Your sister accused your fiance of running her mouth to the ex, but isn't that exactly what you were doing when you went to them to complain? Isn't your sister's view also clouded by your complaints about your fiance? You're the arsehole because you sent your fiance mixed messages. You told her to go because in your words you don't want to be controlling, and even gave her the conditions on when to be back. She followed that and you still punished her for it, and instead of talking to her who is in your words supposed to be your best friend, you unloaded on your friend and your two sisters. People on here are saying that she isn't ready for marriage. Well, guess what? Take it from someone who's been married almost 30 years. You aren't ready either. You don't know how to properly communicate. You sulked for a week and talked to others instead of the person who you had an issue with. You came to a conclusion about why the ex was treating you differently instead of, asking and letting her know if he can't respect the relationship, he can't be around. You allowed her to go with conditions which she met and then pouted like a child because she couldn't read your mind. Last friend says totally confused here. She did exactly as you asked, and then you went and ignored her for a week despite her making lots of attempts to communicate and apologize. But you continued sucking your thumb like a baby and refused to engage. Then off the back of that silent treatment, you speak to your two sisters and a friend, You may or dislike your fiancé anyway, and decide unilaterally and without speaking to your fiancé that the relationship is over. Damn, your fiancé had a lucky escape, and that she's too upset to realize it at the moment. When she looks back, she'll see an insecure partner who threw in the towel because she has a childhood friend and he couldn't get past that friendship. She'll see that she went, with his agreement, to that friend's party and did everything he asked of her in relation to it. Despite that, his feelings were hurt and he refused to communicate with her and resolve it like an adult. He then went full scorched earth and ended an engagement and a 6-year relationship for a reason I have absolutely no clue about. And one more comment from Of Least Concern, who says, I need more information because a lot of y'all's behavior is weird to me. For you, were there other ways she was disrespectful to you in your relationship, and how? For her, why start cutting off the friendship slowly? Why cut it off at all? I kinda sorta understand wanting to attend the party as a form of closure before immediately cutting off, but the concept still is foreign to me. And like the comment said, there's clearly a huge lack of communication in there, but I also found the friendship thing really weird as well. Like, why was she deciding to slowly start cutting off the friendship from that particular night? Going to the party, then cutting off the friendship. I know the last comment said it's like a form of closure, but I found that really strange as well. What do you guys think about that one? So Opie came in with her first update and says, it has been a week since I broke up with my fiancé. After I informed her of my decision, she packed everything up and moved out the next day. A few people in the comments were curious about what she was up to. So I reached out to one of our mutual friends and asked her what she was up to and if she was doing fine. So unfortunately, she is not doing so great. She moved back in with her parents and her parents are blaming her for everything that happened because they really liked me. And she's also been a complete shell of herself. That's what my mutual friend said. So now I'm feeling extremely guilty. This is not what I intended to happen when I broke up with her. I asked the mutual friend if a sit down with my ex would be beneficial to her, and the mutual friend said that would really help my ex. I've called my ex's mum and told her it's not her daughter's fault and that I was going through some internal things and I wasn't ready for marriage. I later called my ex and asked her if she wanted to meet up this weekend, and she was really happy about it. However, her voice sounded really hoarse. I did not feel too great about it. So we're going to meet up this weekend and I'm going to explain to her that it wasn't her fault and that I was going through some internal demons and that we just weren't meant to be together. I'm going to explain to her that she had no fault in this whatsoever. I hope that relieves her of her guilt and that she goes back to normal soon. Then OP comes in with what they title their final update. It says, so this is my final update in all likelihood. I met up with my ex yesterday at a coffee shop and we talked for a long time. I wanted to meet her yesterday rather than the weekend and she wanted to too. I explained to her why our relationship fell apart. I explained to her as my insecurities, which were my demons, and that she deserved someone better than me. I explained to her that she did nothing wrong in our relationship. She did not disrespect me at all, and that the breakup was my fault, and to please not be so hard on herself. She asked if we could still remain friends or get back together after some time. She said even if we could not get back together in the future as partners, she really valued my friendship and still wanted to remain friends with me. I did not expect her to ask me that, and at this point I realized that I had handled this entire thing horribly. I told her up front that it was better to just cut off contact and make a clean break rather than let feelings fester. She cried again really badly after that and I was feeling horrible. This was affecting her mental health and I was really worried about her. So I backtracked and told her sure, we could remain friends and that I really valued her friendship too. I just misunderstood what she had asked. She was really happy about that but asked if she was pressuring me to keep the friendship. I told her no, I genuinely valued her friendship. I told her that she did not pressure me at all. I also told her that if she had cut contact with her best friend to please not do so and be friends with him again, because she did not deserve to lose her best friend. But she said she was cutting off her friendship with him and it had nothing to do with this, but that they were in different phases of life and that she no longer needed to be friends with him. We spoke for an hour or so after that. She seemed in really positive spirits and I felt really good after that. So my plan is now to be friends with her till her mental health is back to normal, then gradually cut off my friendship with her. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story, which comes from My Final Attempt. And before we do get into the story, it does talk about homelessness, suicide ideation, death of a parent, and alcoholism too. So if you do want to skip the story, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are always down in the description and along the timeline below. Thank you. It's titled, Going Homeless in a Month, and here I am on Reddit. I heard the internet does wonders, and that's what I'm hoping for. And then it has a 4-year update as well. First off, let me start by saying I do not know what I'm typing. I do not know what I'm thinking. I've never felt like this before. I'm not mad, not sad, not angry, not happy. I've never felt such nothingness before. Anyways, I have the rest of this month and the next month in my current home. After that, I'm going homeless. All I have is a car and a few assets that can get a few bucks, but not much to my name. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about suicide, but I'm going to be honest in my post. If the time comes and I haven't found any hope or even a step one, I'm going to kill myself. I don't want to die, but I don't want to live this life. I'm not depressed or anxious or whatever. I'm good in the head, but recent events have taken their toll on me. Forgot to mention the important details. I'm 19, just finished my first semester in computer science in university, and probably my last semester, and I do not work. I live in Lebanon. I do not have a passport to another country. I do not have anyone that can support me. I'm completely alone and have a bit of money, 1 to 2k-ish left if I sell my car and all I own. I guess the advice I'm asking for here is, what should I do? Is there any hope? Also, please note I live in Lebanon, basically shit internet, shit electricity, no social benefits or whatever, no nothing. This country is worse than a third world. I probably missed a lot of important details, but I'm struggling to think straight. Feel free to ask me anything. Doesn't matter if it's personal, related to the matter. Thank you for reading my Reddit post and have a good day. Edit. I cannot begin to explain how I feel. I never thought anyone would care this much. I'm not good with expressing myself, but thank you to each and everyone who replied. It really is helping way more than you think. This is going to be a ramble, but here it goes. As to everyone asking me not to give up, I hope I don't. I want to figure this out and be on top, I really do. I will try my best. I hope one day in the future I can come back and update you guys with a happy ending. I haven't cried in a long time and you guys have brought emotions I thought were long gone. So thank you for that. I'm trying to reply to every single reply, but so many are coming in so fast. So for those that I miss, I'm very sorry. Eventually I will get to it and I thank you in advance. So for those who are interested, I've concluded from all the replies a general plan that I would like to share for some criticism. First thing I should do is find a job, which I'm trying my best to do. After I find a job, I will try to find the cheapest/best rent I can, live on the bare minimum while saving up as much as I can. Now here is where I get a little lost. I know I should get a certain amount of money before considering immigration, but I have no idea what estimate that consists of. So help on that would be amazing. Next, I will contact embassies. Canada and Sweden have been good suggestions so far. Help regarding immigration or a student visa. Also, any help regarding immigration would be amazing, as I have no clue how that works. Now that I'm typing that, I feel like I'm asking for too much. I really don't deserve the support you guys have given me today. Can't thank you enough. Anyway, that is the general plan, and I know for a fact that once I land in a country better than Lebanon, I will thrive. I know I can. All I need is a half-decent government behind me that won't steal my money. That's it. I don't want rights, I don't want jack shit. I just want my hard-earned money. So yeah, this is probably the worst paragraph of words to read. So for those of you who did, thank you. My brain is barely functioning, I feel like now. So this took a lot of energy to type. Thank you yet again to each and every single one of you. I mean it. I hope to update you guys soon on what happens. Edit 2. I think I've finally replied to every single comment I got. If I get more replies during the night, I will answer them tomorrow. I wanted to say thank you again everyone for everything you did. Also to everyone asking to donate. Please go donate that money to a charity of your choice. I'll be going to bed now and I want to emphasize how much this all means to me. You guys changed me today. Thank you again. I cannot say that enough. I hope one day I'll be posting an update with a happy ending. Thank you for your best wishes and hope to talk to you again soon, Reddit. Edit 3. Hello everyone, I just woke up and got a shower and hopped on the computer. I'm still in shock with everyone's support and I still can't thank you enough. I'm reading through all the comments, but I'm afraid I do not have enough time to reply to all of them. I just want you guys to know that I'm reading your comments and I appreciate it way more than you think. Today is a big day for me. We'll be roaming around looking for jobs. We need to set up some emergency foods and such. Lots to do today. Your support has given me strength beyond what I thought I had. You guys have proven that people still care. There is hope. We'll be updating you whenever I can, as I now consider you guys my friends. Also, don't forget I'm reading your replies and I really appreciate it very much. Regarding looking for jobs online, I'll try to make up a decent resume of sorts when I get back home and see what I can find. I really shouldn't be asking for more help from you guys, as you guys have done way more than enough, but I thought I'd ask. I still have a few bucks remaining in my PayPal. Nothing worth cashing out though. I was wondering if maybe I can invest or gamble it or of the sort. I'm obviously not counting on it. Neither am I a gambler. Just trying to give an example. Just a thing I can try my luck to see if it helps. Again, thank you to each and every one of you. I keep repeating myself, but as I keep saying, I'm bad at expressing myself. I just want you guys to know I really appreciate everything. I'll update you soon. Have a good day everyone. So OP had some additional information. They said, also just thought I'd add that I'm willing to do anything if possible. That includes moving to another country or whatever. Don't hold back anything. I feel like anything would really help me in my case. Anyways, no one will probably see this, so when and if they see this in the future, I hope I figured shit out. Good luck me. OP gives some information on what led to their current living situation and if he's got any family or friends. OP says, wow, I did not expect a reply. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to help. As to how I got here, I never had a dad and my mother recently passed away in a car accident. I didn't have family other than that and no friends. The house had been taken by the bank or whatever and my mother didn't have much at all. Let me say, even if it's very insignificant, something about how you just typed out a plan gave me a sliver of hope. It's nearly impossible to find a job. Let's go with that and say I find a job. How much money should I accumulate before I can come to Canada? Canada was always in the back of my mind. I love the country and everything about it. I sometimes think I was misplaced and I should have been in Canada. Anyways, I got nothing else to do, so if you want to talk and check out how fucked my life is, I'm down. Also, I've always been smart, though I don't have good grades because of the events that took place in my life in the past few years. What I meant by smart is that give me a book, a deadline, and I'll be damned if I don't know every single letter by heart. So I guess if there's some miracle test I can take that if I get a good grade on, I can get something good out of, I'm down. Anyways, this reply was probably all over the place. I'm very sorry. Thank you again though for the reply. Hope he also says it's weird and I used to think that how someone would end their life. So dark and a pussy move. I don't know though. I'm not sad or worried about it. I just don't care anymore. I really don't know. Though I'm trying not to give up, I convince myself of one more solid attempt where I give it my all. Hence why I'm here, I guess. Most will call me an idiot for referring to a social media website for help, but I don't know. Not much options left, I guess. Thank you for your reply though. It means a lot. Someone questions OP on student loans so he can continue his studies or if he's able to stay in the house that his mother had prior to her passing away. OP says, hello, thank you very much for replying. I'm a Christian on paper, but personally I don't believe in God and all that. No offense to anyone who does though. I find it respectable actually. To find peace in a greater being / thing or whatever you want to call it. I tried everything. No public services available unfortunately. Lebanon is currently going through an economic crisis. No US dollar in the country and the Lebanese lira is quickly becoming one of the worst currencies in the world. And I do know what I can do regarding the bank. Not sure if it's the bank though. I got a phone call explaining that the house was being paid by my mother and there was no insurance and it was the mortgage. Not sure that's what it's called, but yeah, nothing I can do. I do not qualify to transfer the payments. Also, not sure what it's called, of the house to me, as I do not work nor do I have a bank account. I'm pretty sure the house is gone. I know I'm young and I have a lot ahead of me, but why is this all happening to me at this young age? Not everyone dies of old age, and I'm afraid I'm the statistic. Anyways, thank you very much. If you can include me in your future prayers, that's all I could ask. If there's an afterlife, I hope I get the good side. Thank you again, and have a good day. then OP on the university providing housing so he can continue his studies. OP says, university has no dorms, jobs are unicorns here, no government aid, unemployment and all those whatsoever. So yeah, it's fucked wherever I turn. I'm not giving up, I'm choosing what will make me feel better. Thank you very much for your reply. Hope you have a good day. So OP comes in 4 years later. It says trigger warning, some parts of this update might contain sensitive topics. I highly doubt someone remembers my post from around 4 years ago, but I just remembered my Reddit account and saw people were still sending me messages in 2024 checking up on me. I can't show my appreciation enough, by the way, and thought I'd make this update for the few who remember me, as well as the possibility a hopeful post to someone who might be going through shitty times. In any case, after my last post it got very dark in my life. The help I got on Reddit was hugely appreciated and meant a lot mentally, but in reality my situation hadn't changed. I was ready to call it quits. A random day, maybe a week after my post, I saw a stray kitten that came up to me and I started petting it and crying. I loved thinking that was my guardian angel, but to be honest, I guess I just had a little more fight in me. Then and there I decided to actually go through the last attempt I mentioned in my previous post and try my best. I started going to every close restaurant and asking if they needed any servers or anything. Surprisingly, not too long after, I landed my very mediocre job. But it was barely enough to afford rent. Rent as in living in one tiny room and afford university and eat. Throughout the next 2 years, it was hell. I was alive but not living. Alcohol became my best friend, which even though it might sound bad, I was lucky enough to be a functioning addict. I like to avoid thinking what it has done to my health though. Recent blood tests look horrible. I unfortunately got into a weird and bad habit of enjoying being sad. I get drunk and watch sad stuff or whatever and enjoy feeling sad and crying. It was very toxic. I also picked up the habit of cutting, which unfortunately left a couple of scars. I do not care though, as I'm still alive and no one can say anything to me about silly scars that can even remotely affect me after what I've been through. Another thing to mention that happened throughout these 2 years. There's a lot, so I'm trying to remember main posts and keep it relatively short. Is that food and weight became a big hurdle. I was walking to work every day, and it wasn't too far, but my calorific intake was very little. So I was struggling to maintain a healthy weight. A tip for someone in a similar situation is that canned foods like beans are a godsend. Add to that some bread and you're good on calories for very cheap. Anyways, long story short, hell kept on going. But I managed to finish my bachelor's with a 3.3 GPA before my last semester even ended. I started applying left and right to every known university on planet Earth. Long story short, I'm now in France doing my master's. Working part-time as well as some online freelancing and living, not just alive. I know for many, how I'm currently living is laughable. But to me, being able to eat a burger at a restaurant and not worry too much about it is heavenly right now. I'm even able to save money and spend some every month on vanity items. There's a lot that I wish I could spend hours and hours talking about, but for now, I just want to keep it as a little update to the curious, very kind souls that are still messaging me, as well as a very minor message to the desperate people out there, that you can truly make it. Everyone always sees these, you can do it too, but it never feels genuine. You can always see this one difference that they go over that is actually the game changer. So I urge you, look at my previous post, look at what my situation was. Country, family, financials, mental health, then tell me, is it impossible for you to make it as well? By no means am I saying I'm a superhero or that I'm the exception or lucky or special. I genuinely had no luck going through this, just work. I wanted to type hard work, but hard work implies I was doing better than the average person, when I was not. By hard work, I'd rather it mean working while I barely have any mental capacity for the will to live. In any case, that's enough from me for now. I'm probably going to answer the questions, if any, I get on this, to hopefully shed more light over some gaps of these past 4 years and my situation, so feel free to ask anything. From a random stranger, love you stranger. Yes, even 4 years later, I still gotta thank enough the kind souls that replied to my last post, so if any of you are here, thank you so much. And the top comment with a reply from OP, who says, "This was so heartwarming to read. We're also incredibly proud of you, man. Know that you're loved and appreciated. Hope to see another update in a year's time to hear how well you're doing. We'll drop a follow. Hope he says it feels good thinking about the future now. Hopefully I'll be able to make a good update at a couple of years later. Thank you so much for your kind words. I'm sure with a kind soul like yourself, you're very loved and appreciated. Oh dear, me welling up, I have to say. But I always feel like it sounds patronizing when I say this, and I don't mean it in that way, but I'm so incredibly proud of OP in this story for what they've done, for how they've got themselves to where they are today, and I can only wish that they truly thrive. OP has been through a hell of a time. I can't imagine the thoughts that they were going through. It must be absolutely overwhelming and feeling helpless at the same time, as well as having to deal with the addiction issues at the same time. Holy moly. And well done to those Reddit users who did guide OP on the right path as well. I know some people take the piss out of Reddit for some people's comments, but there is some truly wonderful people out there who genuinely do help people in these situations, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Just a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting involved in today's stories. Your love, your support, your time always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.